everyone, and this is Pro Wrestling Inside and Out, and it is our look at Mid-South Wrestling episode 275, and this would have been December 1984. And as always, Jack Lord and Rodney West will go over this Mid-South Wrestling television. Rodney, let's go ahead and start it and let the people know exactly what happened on this episode.
Originally aired on December the 13th, 1984. It's Jim Ross and our good friend Joel Watts. We're always excited to see him. As they began to talk about the program, the North American Heavyweight Championship match that was scheduled between Ernie Ladd and Jim Duggan has been canceled. Ernie Ladd just refused to face Jim Duggan, so he thought he would defend the title against somebody else today, someone that deserved it more.
By the way, he did not want to defend it against Butch Reed. No. Who else did they say?
Jim Duggan, yes. Jim Duggan and Magnum TA, so he wouldn't do that.
Magnum TA,
yeah. So, but he will defend the North American Heavyweight Championship today against Brad Armstrong on the program, and Brad's second week on there. Then we're gonna have the second dream match: Magnum TA against Kamala, the Ugandan warrior or giant, whichever you prefer.
Can I ask y'all a question? How did that become a dream match when Kamala just got there the week before?
There was a massive voting thing of stuffing the ballots.
It's a work. Keep that between us.
Yeah, then we had the dream match video yet again. Then we had an interview with Buddy Landell, the Mid-South television champion, and then Ted DiBiase. And, of course, Buddy Landell said that he was going to defend his title today on the program against a very worthy opponent in Shawn Michaels, and the people just kind of laughed at that. Here and there. And then Ted DiBiase was talking about the Rock and Roll Express and how they were whining and crying about being defeated and how they were defeated, how they said they were cheated. And so he wanted to put that to the end today by having a match on television if they had the guts with him and Sheik Hercules Hernandez against the Rock and Roll Express on television. We will see if that takes place a little bit later on. We come up with match number one. It is for the Mid-South Television Championship. Buddy Landell defending against Shawn Michaels. What did you think about this one, Brett?
Oh, I thought it was good. Now, I can tell you Shawn Michaels wasn't as polished as I remember him being, but he had a good match with him and took some really good bumps during this match. So I thought that Jim Ross said in it, the star of tomorrow, and boy, did he have that right.
That's right. What did you think, Jack?
That's what I was going to point out too. That raw potential is very visible, especially looking at it in hindsight now. I don't know that anybody saw how good he would have gotten, but it was a good, solid match. I liked it, and at points the crowd was behind him.
Sure, and then in the end, it was Buddy Landell raking the eyes. It was Shawn Michaels going down and Buddy coming in with the spinning elbow drop. And, of course, Buddy Landell wins it, Mid-South Television Champion. Then we have match number two for the North American Heavyweight Championship. It is our good friend and one of our favorites, the Big Cat, Ernie Ladd, to face none other than Brad Armstrong. Jack, what did you think about this one?
I thought it was a good match. And, bless his heart, Ernie, you could tell he struggles to get through a match, but even in his struggles, he's still better than the majority of guys that got in the ring. But I thought it was a good match. He made Brad look good. His attempt to choke Brad out backfired on him. But it was good. I saw what y'all were talking about with Brad with that aggressive nature, and I believe that would have worked if they'd have kept that up. But just for one match to win the title, I don't think it helped his overall character.
And I think that we need to do one episode of what we feel should have been done with him after that match. And I think that would be a very interesting thing of what should have been done with him and how we feel like that he could have expanded and really drew a lot of money in Mid-South Wrestling. I think we need to do that on a different program. But I love the match. I thought it was great. The choking him down was magnificent. But I just think in another episode, I think that could have been done 12 weeks down the road, and I think it would have got over a whole lot better.
Yeah. I think that in my opinion, I think that he should have went and got the rope, and Magnum TA should have come out there and got the rope maybe dropped it, and then he threw it to Brad and then do it that way. I think because for whatever reason, everybody said that Brad stole Magnum TA's belt, and then in essence, pretty much he did. But no. But if you look at the crowd's response was pretty decent, only with the second week there. And I think they were trying to capitalize on the fact that he was on TBS, but I don't think, as we were talking earlier in the week, I don't think that people really watched TBS wrestling in that area. I really don't think it was. I think Mid-South dominated when it came to professional wrestling in the area. And in the end, of course, ladies and gentlemen, it was Brad Armstrong becoming the new North American Heavyweight Champion by using Ernie Ladd's own trick by choking him out with his own rope and putting a sleeper hold on him. He even disguised the choke out with the sleeper hold.
He was having some problems getting that rope down in his drawers.
I guarantee you, when he pulled that rope around off of Ernie Ladd's neck, I bet you it rope burned him all the way across there. Because he was trying his best to hide it. But you know what? I think it was purposely done. I think it was purposely done to let everybody know, I used that. Exactly what I thought.
It was good. It was good. It was the whole thing was good.
Match number 3 was the dream match by popular demand. It was Ugandan warrior Kamala versus Magnum TA. Jack, what did you think about this one?
I thought it was a pretty good match. I love the way that Umaga. The Giant made him work for those bumps that he got, off those drop kicks. It took him 3-4 drop kicks, before he ever went down for him. I mean, it was a perfect small guy, big man match, which Magnum's not a small guy.
No.
So, but it's good match, good storytelling.
Yeah, I like the match too. Nobody could have done Kamala like Harris could have done it.
No,
the chops were tremendous. I mean, the chops were just tremendous. So no, I thought it was great.
In the end, in this one, Magnum TA tried one too many for a drop kick. He misses it when he shoots Kamala into the ropes. Kamala sidesteps him, and then it's Magnum TA face down, and it's Kamala doing splash after splash. Finally, referee calls for the bell. In comes Reed to put a stop to it, and then Buddy Landell and Reed go at it. And then it's I believe it was Ted DiBiase coming into that match as well, if I'm not mistaken. He gets Reed gets his DiBiase's hand, just pounds it into the corner, and then it's finally Terry Taylor and all coming out, cleaning house on that one.
Was this Magnum TA's last time on television?
I'm almost sure he's getting ready to head to Jim Crockett Promotion.
There was a lot going on at the end there, and it was all done so well. This is what happens when you put people who know what they're doing in the ring all at one time. With nobody tripping over each other, everybody was taking care of making sure what they need to be done was done. It's really good.
And at the same time, it's still Kamala dropping and just still splashing. While all this is going on, it's Kamala still splashing. TA laid out on the mat there. Match number 4: Tim Horner versus Dale BC. Brett.
Oh, it's a great match. They had already wrestled each other before, I think, on the show. But it was a good match. It got Tim over, and I enjoyed it, and I think he did. Every time he went into that Russian leg sweep, I thought that was just tremendous.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, solid. Here we go. A wrestling match on a wrestling program, and it worked. Who would have thought? But it was a great match. Tim Horner, I don't believe he will ever get the recognition he deserves for how good he was.
Yes.
In the end, it's VC shooting in Tim Horner for a back body drop, and Horner sidesteps him into the Russian foot sweep.
Did they still call it the Russian?
Joel's still calling it the Russian foot sweep.
Oh man!
He did not go to the Georgia Foley School of Commentary, obviously.
Yeah,
he went to the Harry Thornton.
And the back body drop there is a high elevation. We don't know
Well, they
why.
changed commentators so much there. I'm wondering if they're not drawing straws in the back right before the matches, and you're just trying to play it by ear the best you can.
Exactly.
So,
Match number 5, we got Jack Victory versus Terry Taylor. Jack, what did you think about that one?
good, solid match. I like Jack Victory. He's another guy I thought should have got more of a push throughout his career. And Terry Taylor over, as always.
The elbows by Jack Victory, I loved. Those elbow smashes was just tremendous, and Jack Victory should have been pushed to the moon, which he eventually was with him and John Tatum, but it was a couple of years later. So, Jack Victory, really good wrestler.
Of course, it's Terry Taylor winning that with a flying forearm. Then match number 6 as the first appearance of the Private Terry Daniels as he faced up against none other than Terry Ellis, another one of our favorites here at Pro Wrestling Insider. Now, Terry Ellis. Brent, what did you think about that one?
I don't know. I mean, I thought Terry Ellis was a good wrestler, but he gave Terry Ellis absolutely nothing. So even his first match, he made himself not. I don't think he made himself look like. I don't think he did himself any justice. Let's just say that in that match, because he gave Terry Ellis absolutely nothing. So I don't know that it helped him any.
He seemed very awkward throughout this match, even though he was dominating. He just, I don't know. He was like he was trying to stay 2 steps ahead, but he was 2 steps behind at the same time.
He seemed apprehensive and shy.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, and
he is not in real life. I can tell you that. We had a run-in one time.
Really in the end, it's Terry Daniels using a clothesline and then into the Cobra Clutch, who looked very familiar to the similar to the Shinanamaki.
I think Terry Taylor's about the only one that don't use that as a finish at one point.
Pretty much. Match number 7 was supposed to be Ted DiBiase and Hercules Hernandez against the Rock and Roll Express. Of course, DiBiase was hurt by Reed earlier in the broadcast, where he had his hand. Of course, DiBiase had it all wrapped up. It looked really bloody, though, too, as it was wrapped up with ice. And he said, "I've been injured, so I'm going to put my friend Steve Dr. Death Williams against with Hercules Hernandez, Sheik Hercules Hernandez against the Rock and Roll Express. And it's still, if they beat us today, we'll still give them a chance for the Mid-South Tag Team Championship." Brent, what did you think about this one?
Oh, now, Steve Williams was, again, just tremendous in this match. He was, and Hercules Hernandez, that man could work. This guy, when we talk about great wrestlers in the wrestling business, we never give Hercules Hernandez the credit he deserved, because he was good. And this match, Rock and Roll was the Rock and Roll. They were great in this match. Ricky did what he does best. He sold in it. I just think this match was a tremendous match.
Steve Williams is like a light switch. He's either up or down, and but he was up today. I like what he did, and you're right about Hernandez. I mean, probably one of the most consistent workers throughout his career. Was always believable in what he did, and just another one of those unsung heroes of the ring.
And by the way, about this time, he would beat up a bunch of cops in Alexandria, Louisiana. So,
he was legit. He was legit tough.
Yes.
In the end, it's the Rock and Roll Express winning with the rolling reverse on Hercules Hernandez, which gives them a chance at the Mid-South Tag Team Championship. However, it was they might have won the battle, but they didn't win the war. As all three, Hernandez, DiBiase, and the Sheik does a number on them. Still loving Ted DiBiase, even through all of that. Still keeps the hand on the eye. Still keeps it. Still selling the whole thing the entire time. Even when he pulls Ricky Morton out of the ring and runs him into the ring post, still has that arm in that sling. Just fantastic. DiBiase never really disappoints in any match he does. Of course, the next week one of my favorites. I'm not sure of yours, but one of my favorites, the Iceman King Parsons, will be on television on the next episode of Mid-South Wrestling.
I have a question to ask before we leave this episode. They never speak about Ricky Morton getting burned by Skandar Akbar. It's never even spoke about. Like it just never happened. So
Well,
why in the world was it done? I mean, what was? I know Jack just told me it was a work, but still, I don't understand.
It should not be an obvious work.
I just wanted to ask that question. I was thinking about that when I was watching the show. They make no mention about him being burnt whatsoever. So I just wondered if I was missing something there. So
Joel might not have been on that show that week. He don't watch he only watches the ones that he's on. He don't care about that.
He might not have thought that was a fireball going after, since he said that's the Russian foot sweep. So he may have thought that was something. All right, for this episode 275, we will be looking at episode 276 on the new and the next episode of Mid-South Wrestling, as we review one of the greatest wrestling territories of all time, Mid-South Wrestling. All right, on behalf of Jack Lord and Rodney West, I'm Brett West, and we'll see you on the next episode of Mid-South Wrestling. Give us that big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next episode.